Hello and welcome to Feelz Right Quiz Night.
What a delight.
Yes, we made it to week 2 of the quiz.
Woo. Things are heating up already.
Yes, they definitely, certainly are. Hello and welcome. I am the Quizzard.
And I'm Mr. Jeffrey.
We are broadcasting to you live from our living room to yours, and, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You know what I mean? Where else would we really want to be? Out in the world? I don't think so. Safe, warm, cozy at home. Feeling good. Okay, all right. So a big welcome to all of our stream queens watching on Twitch right now. I'm logged into the Twitch stream right here on my phone, and
500 people.
Maybe, who knows? I actually don't even entirely know how to suss out that statistic, but I'll work on that throughout the course of the night. So a huge welcome to you if you are watching live on Twitch. We love you, stream queens. And of course, an absolutely huge, big, sloppy, wet kiss to all of our contestants logged in here into the Zoom room. We are really, 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 really thrilled to see all of you. Hi! Hi guys! Hi everyone! Okay, so first things first, gotta definitely break the seal.
I already broke it.
Poured myself a gargantuan glass of gin. I think this might be a record breaker for me in terms of how much liquid can actually be filled into a glass. So here we go. Cheers, everyone.
Skip the ice next time.
Maybe. Ah, God, that's good.
What is that?
I have to say, Green Hook Gin is so smooth. Highly recommended. You can find this probably at a liquor store near you, and if you can't, ask for it. It's made here in Brooklyn. It's called Green Hook Ginsmiths. They have a few other ones. This is the classic American dry. This is good gin, you guys. We talked about it last week. I hate to throw them under the bus. The bottle redesign, I'm not a huge fan, but I am a fan of what's inside the bottle, and that's really ultimately what matters, right? Ye olde don't judge a book by its cover.
An honest feedback.
Although some might say the aesthetic experience of the bottle is part of the, taste experience of the gin itself. Anyway, whatever, moving on. Okay, so absolutely thrilled to be presented by the Annoyance Theater. The Annoyance Theater is our co-producer on this show. The Annoyance Theater was founded in the late 80s in Chicago as an alt comedy theater, if you didn't know, and actually pretty cool, I have to say. It kind of warmed my heart for the small bit that we play at the Annoyance. Last night at the Emmy Awards, when Jason Sudeikis won his Emmy for Best Actor in a Comedy, he gave a specific shout out to the Annoyance Theater as part of his thank you speech. And he also name dropped Mick Napier, who is the artistic and founding artistic director of the theater. So how cool is that? I was like, oh my God!
Well, one time when I was working at a restaurant, he called the host stand and he was like, hey John, my table, I'm running late, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so he name dropped me by name too, so it's similar.
We're friends with Jason Sudeikis, is what we're trying to say.
I've waited on
not yet.
Twice.
Working towards it, maybe. I guess if he's a nice guy. I'm sure he is. He plays Ted Lasso. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the deal with the Annoyance Theater. Oh, they have a bunch of classes and stuff like that too, and shows. They don't have any other online shows right now other than ours, but there are classes that are online. So if you're interested in the Annoyance, check them out. Okay, here we go. Let's get ready for a little bit of fun on a month. Obviously, first thing we need to do is to light the ceremonial St. Alex Memorial candle. Alex Trebek looking like a babe.
Light her up.
Here we go. Alex, please watch over us in tonight's quiz. We love you, and we're inspired by you. And by that vein tracing down just north of your pelvis.
His real body.
Okay, all right. So, let's get ready for some fun on a month, right? Am I right? Okay, so before we get into everything, please sound off in the chat, either on Twitch or in the Zoom room. Let's just go ham on comments. Why not? And before we get into round one, I'm going to pass you over to Mr. Jeffords for a little update on scoring.
Okay, so I know many of you have probably lost a lot of sleep this week just thinking, I know I did well, but did I do well enough? So I'm going to put your minds at ease for the next hour until you think about it again for the next week, about this week. But anyway, last week's points. Keep in mind, points are cumulative and will go on the season scoreboard, so that's 1 point for third place, 2 points for second place, and 3 whopping points for first place. drum roll, bringing it in. Our third place teams of last week are Nick of Time, Coastal Hoosiers, House of Kurt, Nom Chomps, Green Cross Lovers, Shameless, and Spanish Inquisition. Yes! 1 point on the board for each of those teams.
Yes.
Not to be outdone, though. In second place, we had another drum roll. Floopzilla's Gowanus Black Mayonnaise, Pointer Sisters, and the Slumber Sluts.
Yes!
Round it out. Second place, 2 points on the board for those teams, which only leaves last week's winners. Ooh, it's getting tense. Who could it be? All right, in first place we had American Quiz Story and Vino Verite. Look at them celebrate. Not to rub it in your faces, but they've got to be feeling good about that.
That is pretty
But
dang exciting.
Great job to those teams. But, there were so many other teams hot on their heels. Teams like Dr. Quiz and Trivia Woman here for the Alibi, our absolute best friends, half of which just went to bed, so no longer our best friends, but don't tell them, they didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Tilda and Flatbush, the Knuckleheads, the Dammit Janets, Tiny Dick Lane, Today's the Bidet, SDPS Fan Club, and Mashley. So close, no cigar. But, everyone, do not fret because it is still
Anyone's game.
And I really do mean that because you never know. Anything could happen. Like, a random bonus point could just be thrown out of anywhere. Like, I don't know, 1 bonus point right now for Sparkle Ponies for being dressed up in a fancy costume hat last week. That really made me smile. So I think that's a bonus point. So the rest of you, I don't know.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Be
This
jealous.
is not to say that a costume will necessarily guarantee you a bonus point.
That was just the mood.
That was the mood, and it was a brazen move by the Sparkle Ponies, and it was rewarded with a bonus point, and that's our prerogative.
Also, remember that the high five is still in effect, so that is half a point on the season scoreboard for any team that gets a perfect round. So half a point, 0.5 for a high five is what we say. So, suffice it to say, anything could happen tonight. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so as you know, yes, there are prizes. We're going to start announcing those in week 4, so stay tuned. And before we get going with round 1, please remember that here at Feelz Right Quiz Night, we abide by the honor system. The honor system. You all agreed to abide by the honor system. Just go with what you know. And if you don't know, go with what feels right. And that's feels with a Z, a Z if you're in Canada.
Or a Zeta if you're our team in Mexico.
That's right.
Hi.
Okay, so here we go. I think it feels right to launch into
Round 1, as always, which is current events.
Okay, here we go. Current events. Question 1. There is an election happening in Canada tonight. Yes, Canada might have a new prime minister in the next few hours. As of this moment, I'm just cross-referencing the statistics on my phone, reigning champ Justin Trudeau is currently elected or leading with 41.9% of the vote. His main contender is Erin O'Toole, who reps the Conservative Party of Canada, and they currently have 31.8% of the vote. Coming in hot on his heels is the leftiest of them all, Jagmeet Singh and the New Democratic Party with 16.7%. As always, it's a compelling orgy of political forces up in the north with 22 registered parties duking it out for power. Okay, here is the question. When Canada was formed as a nation and held their first elections in 1867, Sir John A. Macdonald won the vote and became Canada's first Prime Minister. Not including independence, how many political parties were there in 1867 in Canada? All right, that's question 1. How many Canadian political parties were there in 1867 when the nation was formed and Sir John A. Macdonald won the Prime Ministerdom?
I love McDonald's.
Prime Ministership. Prime Ministeronianism. Okay, here we go. Question number 2. Jeopardy! New season debuted last week. Actually, Their debut was the same night as the Feelz Right Quiz Night Season 4 premiere.
How do we do in the ratings compared?
Yeah, well, actually, people are sounding off in the Twitch room now, so that's awesome. Hi there. Hi there, Burger PMX.
Jeopardy.
Hi there, XX Minty Fresh _XX. Okay, so yes, they premiered the same night as we did. Last week's show was hosted by the now disgraced Mike Richards, and a new permanent host has yet to be announced. Until then, this person will host until November 5th, at which point another co-host will tag in and out until the end of 2021. Who is the current temporary host of Jeopardy? This temporary host is in now until November 5th, at which point this person will be joined by a co-host, and the two of them will tag team it out until the end of 2021. Who is the current temporary host of Jeopardy? Okay. Pregunta número 3. That's for our team in Mexico. All right, here we go. Question 3. A new startup called Colossal has raised $15 million so far in their quest to bring back this animal from extinction. The group of scientists behind the project are using a novel gene editing technique to engineer animals that would then be dropped into the Siberian tundra where they went extinct 10,000 years ago. What animal is being de-extincted? $15 million raised by a new startup called Colossal. They want to bring back this animal from extinction. Went extinct 10,000 years ago. The plan is to basically use a gene editing technique, drop the new animals into the Siberian tundra. What animal is being de-extincted?
I think I saw this film.
What was it called?
Jurassic.
Question
They found
4.
a mosquito in amber, and
Right. It's a similar technique that they're using. Okay,
Maybe.
question 4. It really is so smooth. Truly. It's like really smooth. It's like a buttery gin. Question 4. Rolling Stone magazine has edited and re-released their list of the 500 best songs of all time. In first place, it's Aretha Franklin's iconic Respect, clinching the top spot, followed by Public Enemy's Fight the Power at number 2. Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come, rolling in at number 3. And in honor of Feelz Right Quiz Night's 4th season, here is the question. What is the song that has claimed 4th place on the current list? Half a point for the song name and half a point for the troubadour behind it. Hint. The song is from 1965 and was number 1 when Rolling Stone's list was first put together in 2004. So it's a demotion of sorts. Name the song title for half a point. Name the artist for half a point. The song that is now at number 4 on the Rolling Stone list of the 500 best songs of all time. That hint again, 1965, and it was number 1 when Rolling Stone first put out the list in 2004.
didn't age very well.
Okay?
You know.
Yeah, what a difference 8 year made. The whole world has changed, and we all know that. Question 5. Norm Macdonald. Comedian Norm Macdonald died this week. R.I.P. Norm. Norm was, as we all know, a Canadian. He was born and raised in Quebec City. And of course, he became most famous for his time spent at SNL, where he hosted SNL's Classique Weekend Update. But before he made the jump to SNL, Norm was a writer on this iconic TV show in 1992 and 1993, the show's 5th and 6th seasons. What show is it? What show did Norm Macdonald help pen pre-SNL? 92, 93, that show was in its 5th and 6th seasons. Name the show. Okay, The lines are open. You can start sending your answers into Mr. Jeffords, and he will start grading them accordingly.
Yeah, excited.
We are going to do a quick recap of the questions. Here we go. Question 1. How many Canadian political parties were there in 1867? And tonight's election in Canada appears to be also quite a nail-biter. So if anybody wants to keep us updated in the chat, either on Twitch or in the Zoom room about what's going on, we would all appreciate that.
Did I win?
Because Justin Trudeau, while babelicious, might not be able to hold on to it, but we're going to see what happens. Okay, question 2. Oh, sorry. Who is the Jet host in the interim? That's question 2. All right. Question 3. What animal is being de-extincted? Could it be that little white doggy in the wild dingleberries home, looking very cute? No, that animal is still very, very much alive. It would seem, unless it's been taxidermied and roboticized. Question 4.
That's the future.
What song is at number 4 on Rolling Stone's all-time 500 best songs of all time list? Artist for half a point, song title for half a point. Okay. Question 5. What show did Norm Macdonald, Canadian legend, born and raised in Quebec City? I think his mom was a teacher. Maybe she was a nurse. Not sure.
Maybe she taught nursing.
Maybe. What show did he help pen pre-SNL? Okay, that's the recap on the questions. Get those answers into Mr. Jeffords ASAP. While we're waiting for those answers to come in, I just want to remind everybody that Feelz Right Quiz Night is a fundraiser for the Ali Forney Center. For those of you who don't know or don't remember or are watching on Twitch, the Ali Forney Center is a homeless shelter and center here in New York City that serves LGBTQIA2S+ youth. Definitely a very vulnerable population, to be sure, and I'm really, really, really thrilled that we're able to support them. We have raised, so far in Season 4, we have raised $714, which is amazing. A chunk, 25% of everybody's ticket that they purchased in order to be here in the competition went to the Ali Forney Center, and we've had a few other people donate as well. If you are able and you would like to, please feel free to contribute an additional donation to the Ali Forney Center. I'm going to put a link to our fundraising page here. It's aliforneycenter.donorDrive.com/campaign/Feelz-Right-Quiz-Night-Season 4. That's to go to our specific page, but if you would like to just go to the Ali Forney Center and just make a donation, it obviously it doesn't matter if it's registered under ours. Just go to aliforneycenter.org. Okay, and I believe that yes, thank you, Shonali. Mr. Jeffords is going to drop the link in the chat.
Oh yes, I am.
He's going to do that right now. So thanks so much.
I am. I'm not busy at all.
Yes, just a quick pause on the answers.
Oh,
I'm going to take a big. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so.
Nice.
And if you're a stream queen watching on Twitch right now, yeah, just Google Ali Forney Center and figure out a way to make a donation.
Oh, I feel hot.
Or, aliforneycenter.donordrive.com/campaigns. Anyway. Okay, so here we go. Let's dive into the answers. All right, here we go. Answers. Question 1. How many Canadian political parties were there in 1867? Well, there was the dominant Liberal Conservative Party. That's who Sir John A. Macdonald was a part of. There was the Liberal Party. They didn't even have a party leader at this point and didn't have one until 1873. And then there was the Anti-Confederation Party. So there were 3 parties, not including independents. And like I said, there are currently 22 recognized parties in the Canadian, registered parties in the Canadian political system now, including the Parti Marijuana, based in Montreal, has won Not even gonna check. Let's just confidently say they've won 0 seats so far. But they are a registered party. Okay, question 2. Who's the JEP host in the interim? The answer is Mayim Bialik. Mayim Bialik, formerly the star of the hit television show Blossom and also Big Bang Theory. Mayim Bialik also has a PhD in neuroscience. Did you know that? She will be joined after or on November 5th by Ken Jennings, and the two of them are going to tag team it out until the end of 2021. Actually, my sister Megan, she is in here somewhere as a team called Don't Touch That Crown emoji. That's actually her birthday, so what a way to celebrate with the addition of Ken Jennings to the Jeopardy fold. They're no Alex. They're no Alex. Okay. Question 3. What animal is being de-extincted? The animal is the woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth, this new woolly mammoth, will be an elephant-mammoth hybrid. They're starting with Asian elephants and then using this technique to create the woolly mammoths. And the whole deal with this is that they say that the animal's presence is going to help fight climate change because the woolly mammoths are going to be out meandering around the Arctic tundra, chomping and stomping down the bushes and trees, therefore exposing the earth to sub-zero temperatures and allowing the tundra's original grasslands to go back. This is the logic behind the de-extincting of the woolly mammoths.
I feel good about that.
I mean, does the shrubbery really keep the ground that warm? There's a woolly mammoth. That's what it's going to look like. So, I don't know about you guys, but we are basically planning on taking a trip to Siberia in 2034. And we're going to try to track down a few baby woolly mammoths, harness them, saddle them, and take those mofos for a ride.
Are they coming back as babies, or are they like
they're going to have domesticated
cloning
ones.
them as full adults? Well, I guess they can.
No, they're using Asian elephants and somehow using this genetic situation to this gene editing technique to turn them into woolly mammoths.
What could go wrong?
Okay, name the song title and the artist. Number 4, Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. Kind of curious that Rolling Stone chose Like a Rolling Stone as their former number. Seems like a bit of a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a great song and Bob Dylan is a master. I mean, you got to give it to him. Okay, question 5. What show did... I wanted to say just also about Rolling Stone before we move on. There's some songs that caught my attention that were added to the list that weren't on the list previously. Coming in at number 436, Call Me Maybe, Carly Rae Jepsen. Today is actually the song's 10th anniversary. I love Carly Rae Jepsen. She is a Canadian diva icon and she is phenomenal and that song rocks. And so do her other albums after that. At number 303... new to the list, No Scrubs by TLC from 1999. Can you imagine that was left off the top 500 the first time around? I mean, WTF. And I'm not referring to the podcast hosted by Mark Maron. Okay, coming in at number 10, new to the list, also not on the list, wasn't previously on the list, is 2003's Hey Ya by Outkast. I mean...
all the way to number 10?
All the way to number 10. Well deserved. Come on, that song is classique. Okay, all right. Number 5. What show did Norm help pen? Roseanne. It was Roseanne, ladies and germs. It was Roseanne. Okay, so taking another big glug of this gin. Last week, I did not make good work of this gin during the show, so then after the show ended, I was just sitting here in the dark, just chugging gin. I wasn't. Actually, I was. So smooth. Green Hook Ginsmiths, proud sponsor of Feelz Right Quiz Night. Check them out. You can get one of their older issued bottles. I recommend that one. It's a little more aesthetically... Okay. Okay, so as far as other current... Yeah, more tapered. As far as other current events go from this past week, more billionaires in outer space. Okay, so for the first time ever, an entity other than a global superpower has launched humans into orbit. This week, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, sent 4 civilians on a 3-day trip around the Earth. They just got back on Saturday, so I think it feels right to celebrate the occasion with
Round 2, which we are calling Outer Space. Get into it!
Yes, outer space, get into it. Okay, here we go. Round 2, outer space, get into it. Question 1. All right, so everyone, close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes and picture it. It's our solar system at scale. In this imagined picture in your mind's eye, the sun's size is represented by a large gazebo. Okay, picture a large gazebo in your mind as the sun. Jupiter is the size of a large beach ball. Saturn is a slightly smaller beach ball. Uranus is a cantaloupe.
Juicy.
Neptune is a medium-sized acorn squash. Mars is a gumball. If planet Earth is represented by a sports ball, what would it be?
Seeing if anybody's eyes are closed.
Okay. In this imaginary situation, gazebo, a large gazebo is the sun. Jupiter, large beach ball. Saturn, slightly smaller beach ball. Uranus is a cantaloupe.
Juicy.
Neptune is a medium-sized acorn squash. Mars is a gumball. What is planet Earth in this imaginary image? If it were a sports ball, what sports ball reps Earth in this scenario? Question 2. Of all the planets, if you can even call it that, in our solar system, Pluto is the most scandalous. In a highly controversial vote conducted in Prague by the International Astronomical Union, that's the IAU, in 2006, 2 years after the Rolling Stone list was originally put out, Pluto was demoted and stripped of its title of planet. As space researcher Mike Brown bluntly put it at the time, Pluto is dead, leaving us with a measly 8 planets swirling around the sun instead of 9. What is Pluto now considered? What is Pluto now considered? Demoted.
Like a Rolling Stone. like a Rolling Stone.
Like a rolling like a Rolling Stone. Pluto is like a Rolling Stone. Pregunta 3. The first female cosmonaut was shot up into space in 1963, and she remains the only woman to have flown into space solo. A crater on the moon is named after this former parachutist, who is also the youngest woman to have gone into space at the age of 26. From what country did she hail? First female in space, went up at age 26, still the only woman to have gone up solo, and still the youngest woman to have gone up. What country was she from? Is she from? Chew on that while I sip on this. You chew, I'll sip. Later on, I'll chew. Okay. Question 4. Inspired by Stanley Kubrick's film 2001: A Space Odyssey, David Bowie's iconic 1969 song Space Oddity was released on his second self-titled album. At the beginning of the song, ground control sends the instruction to take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Who is ground control talking to? Who is ground control talking to in David Bowie's classic 1969 song Space Oddity from his self-titled second album? Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Who is ground control talking
Is
to?
the next lyric about Tang? Or
What do you mean?
Tang, it's a space thing.
Oh, really? Like everyone's just drinking.
Aren't they just drinking Tang up in space?
They're probably drinking a
Sound off in the
variety
comments.
of freeze dry. Yeah, it looks like
See?
a lot of people are
See?
gesturing to say that absolutely Tang is huge in space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Okay, yeah, well, you don't know what you don't know, right? Okay. Question 5. All right. A roundabout space just wouldn't be the same without a question about black holes, which, as we all know, are infinitely dense points in space that will spaghettify anything that ventures too close. As astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson once described the process of entering a black hole, while you're getting stretched, you're getting squeezed, extruded through the fabric of space like toothpaste through a tube. Black holes have 3 layers. The innermost region is called the singularity. The other 2 layers are 2 parts of the same thing, the inner and the outer. The inner and outer what? What is the name of these other 2 layers? What name is given to the outer layers? Okay, that's question 5. You can start, the lines are open. You can start sending your answers over to Mr. Jeffords. In the meantime, we are going to go through a quick recap of these cuestiones, aka preguntas. Question 1.
Here we go.
What sports ball reps Earth in this scenario? Question number 2.
I'm behind.
You got it, Mr. Jeffords. What is Pluto now considered? Question 3. From what country did space's first female hail? Question 4. Who is ground control talking to in the iconic song Space Oddity by David Bowie? Question 5. What name is given to the outer 2 layers of a black hole? The inner region of a black hole is called the singularity, and then there are 2 layers, 3 layers total, including the singularity. The outer 2, or the additional 2, have the same name. One is the inner and one is the outer. The inner and outer what? Okay. All right, great. So, get your answers into Mr. Jeffords, and while he is getting that dialed in, I am absolutely pleased as punch to let you all know that this week's episode of Feelz Right Quiz Night is sponsored by Apple Crisp.
Is that an official sponsor?
Yeah, Apple Crisp has officially sponsored us. You can see we've already had a couple pieces of this homemade crisp. Apple Crisp, I have to say, what an easy and delightful dessert to just have lounging around the fridge for a week or less. Truly. Apple Crisp is a very, 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 very simple dessert to make. And I have to say, I much prefer it over a pie. This might be scandalous, but you don't have to deal with the crust of a pie. All you have is the crumble on top. It's like a pie with crumble on top. And you can make that crumble not whatever you want it to be, but to a large extent, there's a lot of flexibility and creativity. This crisp in particular is an apple crisp with an almond and pepita crumble on top. And that dark stuff is actually, that's cinnamon. I kind of maybe overdid it on the cinnamon. I didn't really mean for it to come out so like opaquely. And this is the thing that I'm really excited about as it relates to this week's sponsor, Apple Crisp. What you can do and what I did, and I actually learned this tip from Martha Stewart herself.
In person, no doubt.
You double up on the crumble topping. So you make a second, while you're making a crumble, you make a second crumble topping, put it in a container, and then just toss that puppy in the freezer. You've got the crumble topping ready for the next time you want to make a crisp. You just slice up whatever fruit you happen to have had, douse it in lemon juice, sugar, a little bit of salt, and some cornstarch. And then you've already got the crumble, which is also super easy to make. But I figured, you know what? Why not? Martha suggested it, and I always listen to Martha, especially when it comes to insider trading.
Glad we're on the same.
Oh man. Okay, so thank you to Apple Crisp, the wonderful world of Apple Crisp, for sponsoring week 2 of Feelz Right Quiz Night. Can't recommend a crisp more. Okay, all right. Now we have come to the segment of the show, the Feelz Right Spotlight. We are going to hone in and zoom in on Team A, aka the A Team. I am unmuting you, A Team. Are you there?
Yes, we're here. We are here.
Fantastic. Okay, so please introduce yourself to everybody who is watching. What is your name?
My name's Andrew.
I'm Adam.
And this is Anne-Marie.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, y'all. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Adam. Hi, Anne-Marie. And where are we talking to you? Where are we talking to you from?
We are in Brooklyn, more specifically Williamsburg.
Okay, well, greetings from us to you in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and thank you so much for being here as part of Feelz Right Quiz Night Season 4. The A-Team, to everybody who's watching on Twitch and here in the Zoom room, the A-Team is a brand new team here for Season 4. So absolutely thrilled that we've got some rookies here amongst all these other seasoned contestants.
Yeah,
and the question I want to ask you, you can answer all together or you can answer one at a time individually, whatever works for you is, what is something in your life that really just feels right these days?
I mean, I'll say like my living situation, I have some really great people I live with, including Anne-Marie. And it just feels really good. And when you have a good home, it just makes the rest of your life better. So
yeah, it does. Very grounding, right?
I'll say the weather. It's like getting closer to fall, and I really like fall. So the weather kind of chilling out and not being so atrociously hot is nice to me.
I agree. I went on a bike ride today, and I was like, wow, it's really hot and sunny, but I'm not sweating balls, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And the moon. Just want to say the moon. Sorry. I'm not sure we're going to talk about the full moon today, but.
Oh, as part of the space round?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for it, but it didn't happen.
Farm room, right?
I know. I did consider it, but I was like, I got to go for the whole.
Very on brand.
Anne-Marie, what about you? What's something that feels right in your life these days?
I've been connecting with my family a lot more recently, and it's felt really nice.
Oh yeah, what changed? How come you've been more in regular contact with your family these days?
I've just been going home more, and we've all kind of like reached a thing where we're trying to learn each other, like who each other is as adults, kind of for the first time. So
And where is home for you when you go home?
California, when I go to my parents.
California. Oh, wow, that's quite a jaunt. If it's too personal, that's okay. No pressure. But what's something that you've discovered about one of your family members? Like, what's a new appreciation that you have of one of your family members?
Ooh.
Reconnecting.
My mother is so funny. Like, she is just this small Midwestern Lutheran Norwegian woman, and like everyone knows her as just like this very sweet person that gives everyone rides home and doesn't like say much, but the older we both get together, she is so dry and so funny, and I just hear her in a different way now, and it's awesome.
I love it. And I'm really happy to your mom's Uber customers probably really appreciate her too.
I can second that. She's fabulous.
Well,
All right. Well, thank you so much to the A-Team. It's really great having you here as part of Feelz Right Quiz Night Season 4. Thanks so much for being a part of it and for sharing a little bit about yourselves today.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
Okay, adios. Well, you're not leaving, but, you know, talk to you later. Okay, awesome. All right. So now, Mr. Jeffers.
Did you do answers yet?
Oh, the answers, of course.
Okay.
All right.
So
Here
then
we
I'll be
go.
good.
Answers. Okay, here we go. So, outer space, get into it. Question 1. What sports ball reps Earth in the scenario that I described a couple times with the large gazebo as the sun? The ball would be a ping pong ball. Ping pong ball. Okay. Question 2. Oh, and by the way, the Earth's moon would be a marble. Like a small marble, not a large marble. Question 2, of all the planets, Pluto, demoted. What is Pluto now considered? A dwarf planet. And there are many dwarf planets, and it's believed that there are going to be hundreds more. Basically, it has to do with a planet clearing the orbit around itself, and there's a certain, threshold that they've decided. But the reason that that the reclassification in 06 was so controversial is because only 424 astronomers were allowed to vote out of some 10,000 professional astronomers around the globe. So I don't think we've heard the last from Pluto yet. But until the IAU, that's the International Astronomical Union, says so, Pluto ain't no planet. It's a dwarf planet. Okay, question 3. From what country did space's first female hail? The USSR. Also would have accepted Russia. Her name is Valentina Tereshkova. There she is. About 5 years ago. She is a political person now. Basically what happened was, in 1961, the director of cosmonaut training read in Russia, in the USSR, read that in the American media that female pilots were being trained to be astronauts, and this person was like, there's no way in hell that we aren't getting the first woman in space. And so they basically went around, gathered all these women, trained them up, and then Valentina took the step into that ship and 1963 went up into space. Also, by the way, there was a bit of a secret, or a bit of a hint embedded in the question. Cosmonaut is a specifically Russian term. In Russia, cosmonaut, that's what an astronaut is called, a cosmonaut, but it's basically the same job. In China, they're called taikonauts. So just a little fun fact for you. Question 4, who is ground control talking to in David Bowie's song? Major Tom. Major Tom. Okay, question 5. You gotta get into the holes when you can, am I right? Okay, so what name is given to the outer layers of the hole? It's not the singularity, it's the event horizon. The inner and the outer event horizon. And by the way, in the research I did for this question, I learned black holes don't actually suck you in. It would have like the same gravitational pull as Earth. Basically, it's not a vacuum. You're not getting pulled into a vacuum. Objects fall into them just like they fall towards anything that exerts gravity like the Earth, okay? But once a particle crosses the event horizon, it ain't going nowhere. And gravity is constant across the event horizon. Okay, I see people sounding off in the comments. Wilson's debating back and forth.
People are very heated.
They were like, is it ping pong? Is
golf
it golf
ball versus ping pong ball? Apparently they're very similar in size. So I'll give it a think. We'll discuss.
That's true.
And quite a few of you got the right answer, and then there were quite a few of you that said golf ball. So
I would say that's a fair. We'll do a little research into the diameter of ping pong versus golf ball, and
damn it, Janet, say 2 millimeter difference.
Aha!
You know?
Yeah.
So I'll give that a think.
Yeah, we're gonna give that a think. Okay, so feels right to get some score updates from
So
Mr.
based
Jeffers.
on ping pong ball, but anything could change, blah blah blah. But just to let you know where we are right now. Some of you are doing great, and some of you are doing almost great. And so what we have currently,
Almost great is great.
going into round 3, but don't worry, there's still another round, which means it's still
Anyone's game.
Going into round 3, in 3rd place currently is American Quiz Story, Dr. Quiz and Trivia Woman, SDPS Fan Club, Sleepy in the Suburbs, Spanish Inquisition, and Wilson's Having Fun, parentheses, it's a mud. Which means in 2nd place currently we have Gowanus Black Mayonnaise, our absolute best friends, Quiznos, Today's the Bidet, and Vino Verite, duking it out in 2nd place, which means that currently in 1st place, you're probably like, oh yeah, we're doing well. This is us, we got this. It's Coastal Hoosiers and Dammit Janet's rocking it out 1st place. Currently, there's still one more round, okay? So I think let's get into that last round.
Hell yeah,
Go.
let's definitely do it. Okay, here we go. Well, I think it feels right to launch into
Round 3, which this week is OGLE these logos.
okay, OGLE these logos. Basically, for this round, what's going to happen is I'm going to show you a logo. This is the original logo of a particular company. Based on this original design, you must guess which company is being represented. By the way, all of these businesses are still in business today. Okay? Ogle the logo and figure out what company it is. Here we go. Ogle logo number 1. Ogle this logo. What company is it? Only lasted a short time. By the end of the company's first year in business, it had been replaced. Ogle this logo. Ogle it. Ogle this logo. Okay? Take it in. All right. Ogle this logo. Sharpen your eyes. Get ready to ogle this logo. Number 2. What company was originally represented by this logo? Ogle this logo and determine what company it is. Okay. All right. Take it in. Okay. Ogle logo number 3. Ogle this logo. What company
I
was
think it's kinda-
originally? Yeah. That he's kind of presenting his whole.
That was last round.
Wrong round. Okay. Take it in. Ogle it. If you have yet to, I recommend just saying out loud, ogle the logo. It's,
Ogle the logo.
ogle the
Ogle
logo.
the logo.
It's pretty fun to say. All right. Ogle logo number 4. What logo is this? What company is represented by this logo? Ogle it. You got it, Wild Dingleberries.
I think that's helping.
Okay.
Everyone's really ogling, as far as I can tell. We got a lot of ogling going on.
Got a lot of ogling going on. Well, that's good, because that's what you have to do for this round. Okay. Ogle this logo, number 5. Final logo. Ogle it. Determine what it is. All right. You can start sending your answers to Mr. Jeffords. Get those answers coming in. Okay, ogle this logo. Don't want to give number 5 short shrift. Ogle it.
Ogle it.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Gonna do a quick recap. Logo number 1 for 5 seconds. Logo number 2. Ogle this logo. Some excitement coming from Mr. Jeffords. He is always happy when you guys do well.
Yeah. Some of you, yeah. Some of you know. Some of you, yeah.
We'll see. Ogle this logo, number 3.
Put around.
Ogle this logo, number 4. Okay. Ogle this logo, number 5. All right, get them in. Get those answers in to Mr. Jeffords. And while we wait for you to get those answers in, and on the topic of ogling a logo, remember this? Instagram. That was their original logo, now represented by this, as we all, maybe not all, but many of us probably recognize. Kind of like the old one.
Some people got this one, some people don't. And that's okay.
On the topic of Instagram, if you don't follow our Instagram at Feelz Right Quiz Night, we post a clue collage every Monday. The clue collage has all the answers to the quiz in it. This is this week's clue collage made by Mr. Jeffords himself. Tomorrow it will be deconstructed on our Instagram, so be sure to visit at Feelz Right Quiz Night on Instagram to see how this clue collage relates to everything that we covered today. And then while you're there, follow us, and then get ready for next Monday when there'll be another clue collage. Okay, now let's get some answers rolling, shall we? Here we go. Answers to round 3. Ogle
maybe
the
just
logos.
30 more seconds.
Okay, 30 more seconds. Okay, 30 more seconds, and then we're going to
chug some gin.
I'm doing a slow descent of the hand towards the bell, and that's when the round ends. Screen crossed lovers, I'm sorry for stressing you out. If I see you're in this comment thread here, you're stressed, and I don't want you to feel stressed.
I mean, this round could have changed everything.
It still might.
It might have.
Here we go. Oh man, this hand is just, it's like being sucked into a black hole. Right now it's in the event horizon.
Turning into spaghetti.
Okay, the round is now closed. Let's jump into some answers. Here we go. Ogle this logo. What logo is this? Apple. Apple's original logo. After its first year in business, the now classique bite-marked apple took the place of Isaac Newton sitting under a tree.
With an apple shining
above him. By the way, last week there was some question about whether or not Steve Jobs was the founder or co-founder of Apple, and Steve Jobs was the co-founder. He founded it with Steve Wozniak in Steve Jobs' garage. Number 2. First camera prototype was produced by this company in 1934 called the Kwanon, and named after the Buddhist goddess of mercy with her 1,000 arms surrounded by flames. The company is Canon. Current logo designed in 1956 and has been tweaked over the years. The name change was implemented to help them reach a more global audience and also concept.
Yes,
Global
Steve.
concept, according to my research. Number 3, probably the most challenging of the bunch. Web browsing application, released in 2002. Original logo represented the fact that the browser had first been called Phoenix and had only changed its name after a trademark dispute. The company is Mozilla Firefox, and the current logo was released in 2003 after the company lost its court case to keep the name Phoenix. Apparently, Firefox is going to be changing their logo again, so any would-be designers out there, I have heard, word on the grapevine is they're going to be doing an open call for new logos for Firefox, so pretty exciting. Question 4. Or logo 4. Started as an antique and Asian shell company in 1833 and then became the global energy superpower we know today as Shell. When they first began building service stations in California in 1915, they found a need for a more commercial logo than the highly realistic Pectin shell illustration they had been using.
If by highly realistic, you mean a lot of people have guessed Panera. So if you guess Panera, you're not alone. It does look like a piece of bread or a scone.
But when you know it's a shell, it looks like a
Mexican
shell.
pastry or a...
It's true. I'm excited for when this logo, both of these logos, recede into our history because the future is in green energy, folks. Green energy, huge supporters of green energy here at Feelz Right Quiz Night. It's just inevitable. Let's just get with it. All right, logo number 5. 1889, small Japanese company based in Kyoto that sold playing cards burst onto the scene. The original founder's grandson took over in the early 1950s. Nintendo added toys to its repertoire, and the first video game came out in 1975. I guess Donkey Kong was the second, and this current racetrack logo was in use by 1982. Okay, that is it. That's it, folks. That is the quiz, week 2. We will do this week's points at the beginning of next week's episode. So thank you to our stream queen. Say it again.
What around?
What around?
I mean, it's really
all over the board.
Interesting and exciting.
Okay, cool. Thank you to all of our stream queens for tuning in on Twitch, and also a big thank you to all of our contestants here for being live in the Zoom room with us. So until next week, sleep tight, fight the good fight, be polite, and always do what feels right.
Good night.